472, no one or warrant.
Hi, welcome back to Ward 1 Talk. I'm standing here today in the German Mills Meadow and Natural Habitat, which is 26 hectares, or if you're old school like me, 65 acres of land owned by the City of Markham here in Ward 1 near Leslie and John Streets. It wasn't always as nice as this though. This land started out in the 1940s as an aggregate extraction pit and operated that way for about 20 years until 1960. From 1960 until 1983, when actually not the city but the town at the time of Markham purchased it, it actually served as the Sabiston landfill. Now the city owns it and has spent in the last 10 years $2.1 million in maintaining and monitoring the landfill. It's a much loved area of the community and it's absolutely beautiful. Certainly during the pandemic, more and more people are getting out and enjoying the great outdoors, and I highly recommend this being one of those locations. The meadow today is home to 70 different bird species, 70, that's remarkable, as well as 15 mammals. And it's just an absolutely wonderful spot here in the middle of Thornhill. In fact, every time I've come here, I've always wondered, boy, I don't even know where I am. And yet we're so close to all the urban amenities that Markham and Thornhill is so well known for, yet it's an oasis right here in the middle of the ward. So as I mentioned, the city has spent a lot of time and money and effort on maintaining and monitoring the landfill. We monitor for methane gas and for leachate, and we do that according to strict Ministry of Environment guidelines. And we've also spent a fair bit in terms of investing in the meadow with new plantings and all sorts of other things that have encouraged the wildlife. So get out and enjoy this absolutely wonderful spot, the German Mills Meadow and Natural Habitat here in Thornhill. I'm now standing in Huntington Park. Huntington Park is actually owned by the province of Ontario through its agency Infrastructure Ontario. And the City of Markham leases it for $33,000 a year. For those that are familiar with the park, and there are thousands of Thornhill residents who make use of it every day, I'm actually standing in front of the bridge over German Mills Creek that unfortunately has been closed for the past year due to unsafe conditions. There's been a bridge here for about 80 years, if you can believe it. The land was originally owned by a farmer who built the first bridge that would connect his farmlands and give him easy access. I am working on a solution. There are over 14,000 pedestrian trips along this pathway and over this bridge every year when the bridge is open. And I am working on a solution for it. In fact, there are details of two options on my city webpage, and I encourage you to take a look at those. The average cost is about $1 million, if you can believe it, $1 million to repair this bridge and make it safe according to today's standards and conditions. I am working on a cost-effective solution, and I'm hopeful that it won't be much longer and we'll see this bridge made safe and reopened for everyone to use. In the meantime, I appreciate the community's patience and understanding as we work hard to reopen this important asset and connect our neighborhoods. I'm here today at Grandview Park, and although it isn't the official opening of the park, that won't come until spring 2021, I do have the distinct pleasure to be amongst the first to actually charge the water park. I was saying to Mikey O'Bright, who is the creative genius behind Ward 1 Talk and the man behind the camera, that this is the sort of thing that when I was a kid, I would love this, absolutely love it. And although Grandview Park is characterized as a neighborhood park, I can imagine children from across Thornhill coming here in the summer and enjoying this water park because it is among one of the best I've ever seen. In fact, I was just talking to the manufacturer, and each of these jazz players was specifically chosen, as was the color. A lot goes in to the science behind these parks, and I happen to be a big jazz fan, so for me, I'm particularly pleased to see these kinds of features. Among the brand new amenities, which I'm very proud to share with you today, is the skateboard zone. I'm standing here in the middle of it, and judging by its use, in fact, just over Mikey's shoulder here is a skateboarder already making use of the park. I've just had the privilege of being amongst the first to charge the water park feature of it, but as well there's a new pavilion building with washrooms, and over to my left and sort of around the corner in a bit is a brand new playground with accessibility features. The total cost of this investment was $1.83 million, and it was paid for through Section 37 funding, or through the Planning Act, where in exchange for increased density, Liberty Development, who are the builders behind World on Young, donated the money to the city for local improvements. So without that cash injection, we wouldn't have been able to make these improvements in this park. And it's an absolutely wonderful addition to the neighborhood, and I can't wait until spring of 2021 for the official opening.